Hello and welcome to this video. We are going to be looking at organic chemistry. Particularly, we're just going to be talking about the language system under organic chemistry. So organic chemistry is a broad topic. Okay, it's a very large topic under the O-level syllabus. Okay, and this topic always comes under the exam. So now what we are going to do is just to talk about the language and organic chemistry and how we can be able to understand this language and apply it, make it so simple to us. Okay. So what we are going to do, I'm just going to write one word here and I'm going to explain what that word actually means. Okay, I'm just going to write one word here. Okay, and this word that I'm going to write is I'll just write I'll write if. Okay, ethanol. Okay, so ethanol happens to be a compound under organic chemistry. Now, just by looking at ethanol here, there are a lot of things that I can understand, or there are a lot of things that I'm already seeing here. Okay, there are things that I'm already seeing here. One, I can already see the structure. I can already see the homologous series where ethanol belongs. I can also see how many carbon atoms it has. I can also see the bonds just from the name. Okay, so how do we know? How do I know? Okay, just from the name itself. How am I knowing that this thing has got two carbon atoms? How do I know that this thing belongs to the homologous series called the alcohol family? How do I know that it has single bonds? How do I know that the functional group is an OH? And this is why we want to understand in this video the organic language chemistry. Okay, the uh, organic chemistry language. So we have the first three letters here, F. Okay. Now, F, according to the language of organic chemistry, these things are set up by what we call IUPAC, International Union of Applied and um, uh, Applied what? International Union of Applied and Pure Chemistry. Okay, so you have, so if means two carbon atoms, okay, it means two carbon atoms. Then the AN here tells me that between these two carbons there is only a single bond. So already I told that I'm even seeing the structure here. Then the OL tells me that it belongs to a group called the alcohols. And the alcohols have a functional group of OH. They have a functional group of what? OH. So these are things that are allowing me to know actually what this compound is. Okay, just the name itself, everything here has got a meaning. Okay, and I can simply draw its structure so long as I know the meaning, and from the structure I can even write its formula. Okay, so if I was to show the structure of ethanol, here is what I'm going to do. It simply means there are two carbon atoms, so you're going to show two carbon atoms. Okay, and like I said here, the AN here tells you that there's only one bond between them, and you put one bond here. Okay, and at the end you have O, which comes from alcohol, the last word of alcohol. That's what they added here. Okay, tells you that at the far end there is a functional group OH, so you add the functional group there, OH. Okay, you add the functional group there, OH. And what do you do? All organic compounds are all filled with hydrogen. Okay, all organic compounds are filled with hydrogen. So once you've done what you can do, fill the rest with the hydrogen. Fill the rest with hydrogen. Okay, and I've written here nicely, I've written a compound called the ethanol, and that is the structure of ethanol here. Okay, nicely done. That is the structure of ethanol. And from here I can say how many carbon atoms are here? 2. How many hydrogen atoms are there? 5. And the functional group. So all this has come from the word itself. This is why it is very important for us to know what we call the language under this topic, because if you just understand that, there's no need of memorizing things here. You just automatically understand things. So here's what we are going to do. Okay, here's what we are going to do. I'm just going to slightly move this a bit so that we can now go into the language properly. So number one, okay, number one, we have what we call meth. Okay, number two, we have what we call eth. This is the one that is found here in ethanol. Okay, then we also have what we call prop. We have what we call but we pronounce it as bute. We have what we call pent. Okay, 6, we have what we call hex. 7, we have what we call hept, but sometimes it can be sept. Okay, we can go on and on. Okay, let's maybe go up to oct. Okay, maybe we can go all the way up to 10. Let's just reach up to 10. Non. 10, this is the deck. Okay, so now this is what we call prefixes under organic chemistry. Okay, we call these what? The prefix. And you have to know these things. Okay, we call this the prefix. Okay, we call it the what? The prefix. Now we have the prefix, and this prefix here, they have got meanings. This one simply means 1 carbon. This simply means 2 carbon. This simply means 3 carbon. This simply means 4 carbon. This simply means 5 carbon. This simply means 6 carbon. This simply means 7 carbon. This simply means 8 carbon. This simply means 9 carbon. This simply means 10 carbon. Okay, maybe just finish the carbon there. Okay, understanding the language of what? Organic chemistry. After this, you're not going to have a lot of challenges with the organic chemistry names. Okay, so that is what these actually mean. That's why at first when I wrote this word, because I know the language, I could tell that this simply means 2 carbon atoms. Just the first part here. Then this meant what? A single bond between the carbon atoms. Okay, and I could do easily write. So now let's look at now what we call the middle part. Okay, let's look at what we call the middle part under this. Okay, the middle part, what it can have. Some they call them the suffix. I'm just going to make something here. What is on the middle? Okay, okay, what is on the middle? So what can be on the middle? It is just a n. Okay, also sometimes you can see en. Just these two are found on the middle. Okay, just these two, they are found where? On the middle. Now what does an simply means? This means that there is actually a single bond. Okay, this simply means that there is a single bond. then this simply means that there is a double bond. That is why I come back to this again. I could tell, oh, 2 carbon, single bond. As easy as that. So this is what you expect to find on the middle. Then, when you go now, what we call, I'm just going to make my own here, not following what is written in the books, but I want you guys to understand what we call the suffix now, which is at the end. So, others will just end with E, okay? A lot of them will end with E, and we're going to discuss that. 2, others will end with OL, like the one I showed you. 3, others will end with the oik. Okay, with oik. Okay, so this is what we are talking about. So if it ends with E, this tells you that it is a hydrocarbon. Now, what is a hydrocarbon? This is a compound made up of only 2 things, hydrogen and carbon. This one tells you that it is an alcohol. What does this mean? It has this functional group at the end. Okay. Then the oik tells you that it is an acid. What we call this carboxylic acid, and this means that it has got this functional group at the end. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, all those that are watching this video, this is what you need to know under organic chemistry language. It doesn't go beyond this. Okay, other things we will see as we move forward. So now here's what I'm going to do. Okay, I'm going to get, so what I will be doing, I'll be getting prefix, middle, and the suffix. So for the first one, I'm going to do what? I'm going to get the prefix meth. I'll write meth. When I write the prefix meth, I'll go, which middle should I get? This one won't exist, and I'll explain why you can't use this. This one cannot be used with meth. Okay, never at all. Okay, and I'll explain why. Okay, so I'm going to pick AN. That is the middle. Now for these, I can pick all of them. Okay, I can pick all of them. So now here is what is the tricky part here. So for the first one, I'm going to pick the E. So this is going to be called methane. For the second one, I'm going to pick the O. So getting this, meth and O. We call this methanol. And then getting the same thing, I'm going to have methanoic. Whenever it ends with noic, we add acid, methanoic acid. So just from this simple way, meth, and I've picked the middle part, and I've added all 3 prefixes, and it has given me 3 different compounds: methane, methanol, methanoic acid. So this was a very, very good work that scientists did, coming up with what we call IUPAC system of names. Okay, International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. This is the body that came up with these names. Okay, so here I can clearly see what this element is, because at the far end here we have an E, and what did I say is it is a hydrocarbon, and at this here we said it has a single bond, no double bond at all. Meth means 1. Okay, meth simply means what? 1. Okay, so here I can see already meth means 1. Okay, just so that you can be following. Meth means 1. We said here, meth means 1 carbon. So here I'm just going to write 1 carbon. This tells me there's single bonds. So carbon, another thing I want to explain here. Carbon must always have 4 bonds. So I'm going to add 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4 bonds. And remember, if you see my carbon here, they each have 4 bonds. This carbon has got 1, 2, 3, 4. Also, this carbon has 1, 2, 3, 4. Carbon should always have 4 bonds. Now, how do I know what I should add on these bonds? Here it says this is a hydrocarbon. It's only made up of 2 things, carbon and hydrogen. So I'm just going to add hydrogen there. Okay. So IUPAC system of names helps you to know things just by looking at them. And what is the formula for this guy? C. Okay. You're just going to write C H4 and you're good to go. You're done. Okay. How about this guy here? So this guy, I'm going to write it here. So meth means 1, just 1. Okay. Then remember the far end single bonds, right? So you add 1, 2, 3, 4 single bonds. Then at the far end, there's a functional group. These are functional groups. I've talked about them, right? OH and O. So you add the OH here. Then what do you do with the rest? Hydrogen, of course. Okay, hydrogen. Okay, it's just hydrogen everywhere. And this is what we call methanol. And the formula for methanol is very simple. Okay, it is just CH, how many? 3. Then the functional group always goes at the end, and you're good to go. Now let's look at this guy here. Meth means 1 carbon. Okay, 1 carbon. Now for this particular one, this oic here, okay, it is written like this. Okay, that is how it is written. So we're going to add it here. Okay, so if you've done this, you see that a lot of things. Now remember, it has the ability to form 4 bonds, but here I've written 1, 2, 3. So I'll just add 1 here. This is how this compound looks like. So this part you just have to know the oic has got this shape, right? That's why I've just added it here. Okay, the OH is just like that. That's why I've added it like that. Then now here, this is called methanoic acid. Okay, it is called methanoic acid. So this video can take us hours and hours if we start getting them one by one. We pick this, we pick all 3. But what we're trying to do here, and the take-home message is that pick any. But again, I'll caution on this particular one here, never use this. Okay, let's get this and I get this. So if I get if, then I get this, then I get. So again, when you use en, you can never use these two. Okay, you can never. So these are just some of the rules that you can pick up here. So ethene, it means two carbon, and then this one tells you they've got bonds, 2 bonds like this. Okay, now carbon should have how many bonds? Should have 4, but this one already has got 2, 1, 2. So you add 2 more. Again, you add 2 more to this one. So you add H, 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 H. So now this becomes the ethene, and you can write C2, H4, and you're good to go. So that is about this language. So for now, what I want you to know, especially those doing tuitions with me, master this. You can come up with a mnemonic. Also master this also, and then we are good to go. So I didn't want this video to be so long. I'm going to have to end it here. If you have any questions, please, if you want me to continue form more compounds, leave a comment in the comment section there, like, and also share the video.